Hello everyone, and welcome to our channel. In today's video, we are going to explore the 5 most common myths about classical music and debunk them one by one. It is important to clarify these misconceptions because classical music is a fundamental part of our cultural heritage and deserves to be appreciated without prejudice or misunderstandings. So, if you are passionate about music or simply curious, stay with us until the end. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. Let's get started. Myth 5. Classical music is boring. It is common to hear that classical music is boring, but this perception couldn't be further from the truth. Classical music encompasses a wide range of emotions and styles, from the most serene and relaxing to the most passionate and energetic. Take, for example, Tchaikovsky's 1812 Overture, a piece that culminates with the thunder of cannons and bells, creating an atmosphere of pure adrenaline. Or consider Beethoven's Symphony No. 5, with its iconic opening motif that has been described as fate knocking at the door. This symphony is an emotional journey full of tension and release. We cannot forget Khachaturian's Sabre Dance, a fast and vibrant piece that is almost impossible to listen to without feeling the urgency and dynamism it conveys. And for those looking for something more contemporary, the works of composers like John Williams, known for his soundtracks for movies like Star Wars and Harry Potter, demonstrate that classical music can be as exciting and accessible as any other genre. Classical music also has the ability to tell stories and evoke vivid images. Rimsky-Korsakov's Flight of the Bumblebee is a perfect example of how music can paint a sonic picture, in this case, the frantic flight of an insect. In summary, the idea that classical music is boring is a myth that falls apart when we explore the richness and diversity of this genre. From the intensity of a Beethoven symphony to the excitement of a Tchaikovsky overture, classical music has something for every taste and mood. So the next time someone says that classical music is boring, invite them to discover these pieces and experience the excitement for themselves. Myth 4. Classical music is only for the elite. It is a common misconception that classical music is exclusive to wealthy or high society individuals. The reality is that classical music is accessible to everyone, regardless of their background or economic situation. Since its inception, classical music has been enjoyed by people from all social classes. For example, Ludwig van Beethoven, one of the most famous composers of all time, did not come from a wealthy family. His father was a court musician who struggled with alcoholism, and Beethoven had to work hard from a young age to support his family. Another example is Franz Schubert, who was born into a humble family. His father was a school teacher, and Schubert grew up in a modest environment. Despite economic difficulties, Schubert became one of the most prolific and beloved composers in the history of classical music. Even in more recent times, musicians like Gustavo Dudamel, a Venezuelan conductor, demonstrate that classical music can be accessible to everyone. Dudamel grew up in a humble environment and found his passion for music through the program El Sistema, an initiative that offers free music education to underprivileged children in Venezuela. Moreover, today, classical music is more accessible than ever, thanks to technology. With streaming platforms, online concerts, and recordings available on the internet, anyone can enjoy classical music from the comfort of their home without spending large sums of money. In summary, classical music is not just for the elite. It is a cultural treasure that is within everyone's reach, regardless of their background or economic situation. Classical music has the power to touch the soul and enrich the life of anyone willing to listen. Myth 3. Classical music is old and not relevant today. It's easy to think that classical music is a thing of the past, but the reality is that it remains incredibly relevant today. To begin with, classical music has profoundly influenced a wide variety of modern musical genres. From rock to pop, jazz, and electronic music, many contemporary artists have taken elements of classical music to enrich their own compositions. Bands like the Beatles and Queen, for example, have incorporated orchestral arrangements and complex structures that have their roots in classical music. Moreover, classical music continues to be performed and appreciated worldwide. Symphony orchestras, string quartets, and soloists keep filling concert halls, and classical music festivals attract thousands of attendees each year. Not only that, but classical music has also adapted to modern times finding new audiences through streaming platforms and social media. Young pianists and violinists, such as Lang Lang and Hilary Hahn, have gained global followings thanks to their virtuosic performances and online presence. Classical music also plays an important role in music education. Many musicians begin their training by learning classical pieces, which provide them with a solid technical and theoretical foundation. This training is not only essential for classical musicians, but also benefits those who venture into other genres. In summary, classical music is not just a relic of the past. It is a living and constantly evolving art form that continues to influence contemporary music and is enjoyed by people of all ages around the world. Myth 2. Classical music is difficult to understand. There is a common belief that classical music is complicated and can only be appreciated by experts or people with musical training. However, this idea couldn't be further from the truth. Classical music, like any other musical genre, has the ability to evoke emotions and tell stories that can be understood and enjoyed by anyone, regardless of their level of musical knowledge. The key is to open yourself to the experience and let the music speak for itself. To start enjoying classical music, it is not necessary to know all the technical terms or the history behind each piece. A good starting point is simply to listen attentively and let yourself be carried away by the emotions that the music awakens. You can begin with well-known and accessible works, such as Beethoven's symphonies, Vivaldi's concertos, or Chopin's piano pieces. These compositions are popular for a reason. They have a beauty and expressiveness that resonate with many people. Moreover, there are many resources available for those who wish to delve a little deeper. You can find listening guides, documentaries, and podcasts that explain the works and composers in a simple and engaging way. Attending live concerts can also be a revealing experience, as seeing musicians perform the music in real time adds an extra dimension of appreciation. Remember, classical music is not an exclusive club. It is a cultural treasure that is there to be enjoyed by everyone, there to explore and discover all that it has to offer. Myth 1. All classical music composers are men. It is a common misconception to think that all classical music composers have been men. However, the history of classical music is full of talented women who have made significant contributions. One of the most notable composers is Clara Schumann, a virtuoso pianist and German composer from the 19th century. Clara was not only an exceptional performer, but also composed works that are still performed today, such as her romances for piano and her piano trio in G minor trio. Another important figure is Fanny Mendelssohn, sister of the famous composer Felix Mendelssohn. Fanny was a prolific composer who wrote more than 460 pieces, including songs, piano works, and chamber music. Her talent and creativity make her an essential figure in the history of classical music. In more recent times, we find the American composer Amy Beach, who was the first woman in the United States to compose a symphony, the Gaelic Symphony. Her music is known for its melodic richness and harmonic complexity. We must also mention Nadia Boulanger, a French composer and pedagogue who, although better known for her work as a teacher of many famous 20th century composers, also left a legacy of her own compositions ranging from songs to orchestral works. These are just a few of the many women who have left their mark on classical music. Their contributions demonstrate that talent and creativity have no gender, and that classical music is a field enriched by the diversity of its creators. In conclusion, we have debunked some of the most common myths about classical music, from the idea that it is boring and elitist to the belief that it is only for experts. Classical music is a rich and diverse universe that can be enjoyed by everyone, regardless of their age or prior knowledge. We encourage you to explore it without prejudice and to discover for yourself the beauty and emotion it offers. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave your comments, share your opinions, and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating content about the world of music. Thank you for joining us, and see you next time.